What's up, guys? Brian Grossman here with Get Outdoors South with a quick video on 7 ways you can maximize your comfort while hunting from a saddle. Now, for those of you who haven't saddle hunted before, maybe you're thinking about it, yes, saddle hunting is comfortable if you buy the right equipment and adjust that equipment properly. It can be extremely comfortable. No, maybe not as comfortable as that Summit Goliath you've been packing around for years. But to me, the trade-off in the mobility and the lighter weight is worth a little bit of comfort you lose going from a really nice climber to a saddle system. And I can hunt out of this thing for hours, stay comfortable, but you got to know the correct adjustments to make to be able to make that happen. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. Now, the first step is starting out with the right saddle. And the only way you're going to know the saddle that fits you best is by trying out as many as possible before you drop down your hard-earned money and purchase one. And so I would suggest going to some of the outdoor expos, maybe attending one of the Tether's teach and train sessions, or just finding some local guys on one of the saddle hunting forums that you can get with and try out their equipment. And that way you know you're starting out with something that's comfortable, because that's going to be key. All these other adjustments aren't going to do you any good if you're hunting out of a saddle that's just not fit for your body. So first step, find the right saddle for you. The second step is by adjusting your tether height. So this is my tether rope around the tree that connects to my bridge rope. And by adjusting that height, it adjusts the angle of your body to the tree. Typically, the higher the rope, the higher your tether height, the steeper the angle, the more discomfort. It's going to put more of a pull on the top of your saddle and create more discomfort. However, the trade-off is if you come down lower, it's more likely to get in your way of shot opportunities. So you got to find that happy medium. Most of the saddle companies recommend starting out at eye level or even forehead height and then adjusting from there. I typically keep mine about eye level height. I've tried lower, I've tried higher, and that just seems to be the sweet spot for me. But you'll need to find that sweet spot for you. The third step is by adjusting the length of your bridge rope. So these bridge ropes, in my case, mine has a prusik knot here on the end, and I can adjust the length. And there's about 30 inches of adjustment there on this tether that you can shorten or lengthen. I typically leave mine out long. What's going to happen is the shorter you make this bridge rope, the tighter the angle and the more it's going to pull this saddle in and pinch on your hips. So the shorter the bridge rope, again, is typically going to cause more discomfort. Again, that trade-off is shootability. If you have this too long and at too much of an angle, again, that can start to get in your way of shot opportunities. So again, you're going to have to find what works for you. For me, it's typically out there almost full length, and these things tighten up on you. But I'm out near the end of my bridge length. I like that longer bridge, less pinch on my hips. This is where I stay the most comfortable. The fourth step is making sure that you either have a set of knee pads, which I don't here today, or you have a pad that you can strap to the tree. Because while I'm primarily a leaner, so I hunt most of the time like this, just lean back away from the tree. There are times when I need to switch things up and get into sitting position, which this can be very comfortable as well. Some guys hunt more sitting than they do leaning, but you're going to want something between your knees and that tree. I don't like knee pads. They kind of bother me. They slide down on my legs and stuff. So I like just taking a pad. This is just a cheap, like $4 seat from Walmart. I put a strap on it. I can strap that to the tree and sit right here like this, and my knees stay plenty comfortable. So make sure you invest in either some knee pads or a pad you can strap to the tree. Fifth way you can adjust your comfort in a saddle is by simply adjusting the saddle itself, which determines where this thing's riding on your back and on your butt. There's times when I like to pull mine down to where it's lower and kind of cups under my butt more, especially if I'm in the sitting position. And then there's times where you might want to pull it up some, more like along your waistline. And again, everybody's going to be different in what they find comfortable. You're just going to have to learn or to adjust that and see what works best for you. And there may be times, again, when you have to adjust in the course of the hunt to remain comfortable. Another way on those same lines that you can adjust most of these saddles is by moving where your bridge rope is on these bridge loops. Now Tethered has what they call these comfort channels, which allow you to adjust whether the bridge loop, where it attaches in this loop. So right here it's kind of in the middle. I can shift it to where it's further down, and what that does, the further you go down with it, the more pressure it's going to put here on your butt, on this bottom strap. If I go the other way with it, it's going to put more pressure up here on the bottom of my back or the top of my butt. And so you have to find that happy medium. I usually just run mine right in the middle. I think that's where most guys typically do, but you just have to adjust that to what suits you best. Again, part of that's going to depend on whether you're a leaner or sitter, or even the angle of your tether rope. So just play around with that position of the bridge rope on the bridge loops and find out that sweet spot for you. The sixth way to maximize your comfort while saddle hunting is by using, if I can get it out of my pocket, a back band, or as what Tether calls a recliner, which all this does is it goes around your back, snaps in to your carabiner here, the same one your bridge rope snaps into. And again, I'm only like 2 feet off the ground, or else I would have that carabiner locked in. But for now, for demonstration purposes, this is all good. I'm barely off the ground. But the back band, what this allows you to do, especially if you're leaner, is I can put that up on my back, cinch it snug, and it supports my back. So I'm supported down here in my butt, and now I'm supported in my back as well. And so there's a lot less discomfort over the long haul because of that support. And when you go for the shot, you simply lean forward, and that thing's going to drop down out of your way. I had it pretty snug there, but it's going to drop down out of your way for the shot. So it's not an issue there, and then you just pull it back up and get it where you want it. So I would definitely recommend the $30 or so investment right there is going to be more than worth your money. If you're getting into saddle hunting, you're going to want a back band to provide that comfort. And the seventh and last tip for staying comfortable in the saddle is just getting into saddle shape. And I know that, I mean, what does that mean? It means just simply spending time in your saddle. The more time you spend in it, the more your body is going to adjust to being in this thing, and the more comfortable you're going to be able to stay over the long haul. The first time I ever used one of these, an hour in, I was like, man, there's no way this is not going to work for me. But once I learned to make these adjustments and got used to being in the saddle, I rarely hunt any other way now. I absolutely love it. So you just have to adjust, and that's going to take place even at the start of every season. If you ain't been in that saddle for a while, it's probably going to take a hunt or two for you to get back into quote saddle shape and start getting comfortable in the saddle. So just give it some time. Don't give up after 1 or 2 hunts because, oh, this thing isn't comfortable. Let your body adjust. Play around with all these different adjustments, your tether height, your bridge length, adjusting your saddle on your body, all that stuff, until you find that sweet spot. And you eventually will. And once you do, man, there's no turning back. You'll be a saddle hunter for life. So guys, hey, be sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss another one of our videos. We're going to be cranking out a lot more saddle hunting content and fishing content, product reviews, all that kind of stuff. I hope you guys will stick around for all that. And as always, guys, hunt safe, shoot straight, and most importantly, just enjoy your time out there in God's great outdoors. We'll see you on the next video.